Here.
Kathy Griffith,
Here.
Terry Kavner,
Here.
David Roberts,
Here.
Mark Ham,
Here.
Glenn Lewis.
Here. Would you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. Item 2 is the consent docket. Item A is approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting held December 17, 2012. Item B is receive the minutes of the regular planning commission meeting held October the 9th, 2012. Item C is accept a 15-foot water line easement located in Lot 3, Block 1 of Royal Rock Addition, Section 3, located north of Southwest 19th Street and west of Mex Morgan Boulevard. Item D is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2012-2013 in the amount of $2,887,097.70.
Move to approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on these things? Everybody get their claims questions answered? If so, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote?
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 3 is considered the final plat of secure storage addition located in the northeast quarter of Section 23, Township 10 North, Range 3 West, being south of Southeast 4th Street and west of Eastern Avenue. Application by Brandon Waller. Planning Commission recommended approval of this item 7-0.
Mayor and Council, this property is currently zoned C3 with a permissive use for mini storage. The final plat consists of 2 lots on approximately 6.5 acres. Lot 1 is proposed as the mini storage facility. Lot 2 is proposed as a retail or commercial development that fronts along Eastern Avenue. This property is located approximately a 1/4 mile south of Southeast 4th Street along Eastern Avenue. Access is proposed from Eastern, and there should be no more than 3 curb cuts allowed on this property. Public water and sanitary sewer are available to serve the site. There is a 100-year floodplain located on the southwesterly portion of this property. Detention is required, as well as compliance with all of the FEMA requirements for development within a floodplain. A detention pond is proposed along the south property line, and the detention pond shall be constructed with the first phase of the mini storage facility if approved. And staff does recommend approval of the final plat. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Make a motion to approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this item? If not, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 4 is consider renewal of a contract with Traffic Engineers Consultants, TEC, in the amount of $6,500 for annual traffic counts.
Mayor and Council, you may recall that each year ACOG conducts a unified planning work program where traffic counts are collected from larger metro area cities to determine commuter patterns, congestion corridors, and level of service standards for arterials and major collector streets in all of the cities. This information is then used as a basis for, in part, awarding STP-UZA funds to the communities who apply for them. The City of Moore has been participating in this program since 2008, and our annual traffic counts have been valuable in determining roadway improvements and obtaining the funding for those. Since 2008, these counts have been provided by TEC at $6,000 per year. This year, TEC is requesting a fee increase of $500. This is to cover personnel expense of data entry into ACOG's online database. So the total would be $6,500 for 2013 for the traffic counts. And it should be also noted that the city has entered into an agreement with ACOG for a partial reimbursement of our traffic counts. So ACOG would reimburse the city for $3,200. So the final cost to the city would be $3,300. And staff does recommend approval of this contract in the revised amount. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Move to approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions on this? Any comments? If not, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes. Item is approved. Item number 5 is consider approval of resolution number 75512, designating Melberg Brawley as the city's consulting engineer for the ODOT bridge inspections for 2013 to 2016.
Mayor and council, every 2 years, ODOT does require municipalities to obtain bridge inspections. ODOT does provide us a list of pre-qualified engineering firms of which to choose from. We are required to interview 3 of the firms and then make a recommendation to our city council for the contract. We have had experience with our past firms. We have used Cobb Engineering for some time in the past, and just recently we have used EST since 2006 for these inspections. It is the city's policy to spread engineering work among qualified firms when possible and not get locked into just one firm. Because we have used EST for quite some time now, staff interviewed 3 separate firms. We interviewed Cobb, SAIC, which used to be Benham, and Melberger Brawley for this round of bridge inspections. Melberger Brawley was selected by staff for recommendation, and this was in part due to their experience with other metro communities of similar nature to ourselves, such as Midwest City and Yukon. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry, these costs are also at least partially reimbursed by,
Yes.
or paid for by ODOT, right?
Yes, that is correct. We are responsible for 20% of the cost, and FHWA picks up the remainder.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Mark Ham. Oh, I'm sorry. Glenn Lewis.
Yes. Mark, you get to vote twice on that. Thanks. That's good. All right, item number 6 is consider authorization to solicit bids for communication infrastructure services, including all low-voltage cabling, a comprehensive security solution, and an audio-visual solution for the new public safety center.
Mayor and Council, this is for the new Public Safety Center. It is time that we start running cable for the new building. And it was not put in the original bid when we went out to bid. This is for all network phone cables, door security controls, cameras, and audiovisual conference rooms and training rooms.
Do you have any recommendations, or are we just now putting it out for bid?
Just putting it out for bid.
Okay.
Is it something that was not in our budget then?
It's in the budget, it just was not in the bids that we put
Okay,
out
gotcha.
initially. Because David and his crew did a lot of the cabling and all that at the fire stations when they were put in, so we didn't put it into the original bids. But with this being a much larger project, with David and his staff having other things to do and it much more complicated, we just decided to go ahead and bid out the whole thing.
Gotcha. Got it. Make a motion to approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this item? How are we towards completion date on the building?
Well, I think, as far as I know, I think things are going pretty well with it. I think we're still shooting for August is the last date that I heard. So construction is going along pretty well.
People downtown are getting excited about it. I get a lot of comments on it. It's like, what's it gonna be next?
It's going to be an amazing addition to the Old Town area, it really is.
It is.
The only thing I'm concerned about is we're gonna have a lot more traffic with the building, and we'll have to have some of our businesses downtown bear with us a little bit, but we'll work with them as far as that's concerned. But it is gonna be a very nice improvement for downtown,
Yeah. All that increased traffic means increased business for them, so
hopefully, yes.
hopefully. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item number 7 is the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Public Works Authority meeting held December 17, 2012. Item B is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for 2012, 2013 in the amount of $1,194,129.48.
Move to approve?
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, everybody get their claims questions answered, or any notes or changes to the minutes? If not, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote?
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item number 8 is item A, accept the minutes of the regular Moore Risk Management meeting held December 17, 2012. Excuse me. Item B is approve the payment of a general liability settlement in the amount of $60,000 to William G. Hogue and Louise Hogue for claim number C2012-747L, authorized placement on the property tax rolls and supplement the budget accordingly. Item C is approve the payment of a workers' compensation settlement in the amount of $13,000 to Nathan Jones for claim number WC000996 and authorize placement on the property tax rolls and supplement the budget accordingly. Item number D is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2012-2013 in the amount of $375,472.62.
Move to approve?
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion on any of these items? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and reconvene the city council meeting. Item number 9 is new business. Item A is citizens for items not on the agenda. There's no one signed up. Would anyone like to speak? Okay. Item B is items from the city council or trustees.
Just have one comment. I know last year in the spring, I attended my first city retreat. We had and learned a lot. And I would, assuming that we'll be doing that again in the spring, and would just be interested in your thoughts, not necessarily today, but just your feedback. Maybe invite some of the other city department heads to come to that, either for all of it or for part of it. One, I'd love to hear from them what their ideas are for their responsibilities, and just have an opportunity to talk to them in that forum. So be curious for your feedback and if something you'd be interested in or not. Thank you.
I think that's fine.
Okay, we'll do it. Yes, affirmative.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't mind.
We always
They
think it's a
don't
good
mind.
idea to have things like this, to be able to interact with you all and to kind of make sure that we're going in the direction generally that you all want to see us going and want to see the community going. So it's something we're very much in favor of. And Mark and I talked about this a little bit the other day. I think it's possible we could have one or more changes on the council coming up. I don't know for sure on that, so we could look at scheduling that. The last possible election is going to be early, the first week of April, so we could do it mid to later April, if that's okay. If you don't think that's too late, we'll be along in the budget process, but not so far along that we can't reprioritize if necessary or have those discussions. And
We might even make it part of the budget process, you know, a little bit, maybe a few days before. I don't know.
well, we possibly could.
That might mess up some budgets, so.
Well, there's not
Some
gonna
of
be,
the work.
there's a lot of the base budget that's not too flexible in
Right.
terms of,
We really didn't want to make this a full weekend deal.
No, we didn't. Okay.
we've done this before, and that is we've had a Friday
Yeah,
evening,
yeah.
sort of an informal
Yeah.
deal with the council members and spouses and whomever. We've done that, and then have a full day perhaps on
Yeah.
a Saturday, if that'll work for everybody. I've already put the staff on notice in terms of coming in and talking about a 5-year outlook for their departments. And again, I think we did that same thing, 5-year deal 2 or 3 years ago, so we can definitely revisit that. We would like to do that.
Okay. Anybody else? Any items from the city manager?
I don't have anything there.
Seriously? Okay. Item 10 is adjournment.
So moved.
Yeah.
Second.
All right. Let's call for the
Too
vote,
late
please.
now.
Missed about 3 minutes.
Football game starts in 10 minutes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, we're adjourned. Thank you for coming. That was nice. We had